So you're thinking about a winter cruise, maybe sailing out of a port like Galveston. Then you already know the weather can be a total wild card. One day it's sunny, the next, you're looking at ice storms. So how do you handle all that? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down how to cruise smarter, not harder, when that weather gets crazy.
I mean, it really can feel like a game of roulette, can it? You're booking this amazing tropical vacation, but you've got to get through freezing temperatures just to get on the ship. That's the big puzzle we're going to solve right here. And we'll show you exactly how to win that game every single time.
And believe me, this is no exaggeration. That 40-degree number, that's a real deal temperature swing you can absolutely experience. We're talking leaving Galveston when it's in the 30s, and then just a couple days later, you're kicking back an 80-degree sunshine in Cozumel. So the big question is, how on earth do you pack for that?
Yeah, it's basically like you're packing for two totally different trips, but it all has to fit in one suitcase. This is our first major hurdle, but you know what? The solution is actually way simpler than you'd think once you get the strategy down.
And check this out. This slide lays it all out perfectly. On the left, you've got your super practical, warm outfit for boarding day. On the right, total vacation mode. The trick isn't to pack more stuff, it's to pack smarter stuff. And your secret weapon, as you can see, is all about one thing: layers. Let's take a closer look at that boarding day outfit. Look, it might not be your most glamorous, cruise cute look, but trust me, it is 100% practical. You're going to be dealing with cold parking lots, chilly shuttle buses, and maybe some long lines in a drafty terminal. This outfit is all about making sure you start your vacation feeling comfortable, not shivering.
Okay, and here's the pro tip that catches so many people off guard. Just because you're sailing to a warm, sunny place doesn't mean the whole ship is going to be warm. Those layers you wore to get on board, oh, you're going to be so glad you have them.
You know how some places just blast the AC? Well, cruise ships are famous for it, especially in the main dining rooms, the big theaters, and all the lounges. Packing a light sweater or a wrap is, seriously, non-negotiable. It's the difference between actually enjoying the show and just sitting there shivering through the whole thing.
All right, so your suitcase is all packed and ready to go. But what good is a perfectly packed bag if you can't even get to the ship, right? And that brings us to our next huge point. Planning your travel day is every bit as critical as planning your outfits.
This timeline, man, it just nails what a smart move looks like. The original plan to drive down on Saturday made total sense until the forecast changed everything. The key here was thinking ahead. By deciding to leave a day early, they completely sidestepped all the stress and the danger and made sure they weren't going to miss that cruise.
So why is it such a big deal? Well, if you're cruising anytime between November and March, getting there the day before your cruise isn't really a luxury. It's pretty much a necessity. Think of it this way. Arriving a day early is your insurance policy against winter weather. It gives you a built-in buffer for anything. Road closures, awful traffic, you name it.
And hey, if you're hesitating because you're thinking about the cost of a hotel, just let this quote sink in. A couple $100 for a hotel room is absolutely nothing compared to the thousands you'd be out if you miss the ship. I mean, the math here is simple, and it always points to arriving early.
Now, let's zoom out for a second. Because it's not just your personal travel plans that are at the mercy of the weather. The cruise lines themselves, they are constantly making these kinds of adjustments for the very same reasons. Let's look at a real-world example. A cruise ship actually cut its trip short to get back to port early. Now, you can imagine some people on board were probably a little disappointed, and that makes sense. But there was a much bigger, much more important reason they made that call. And this right here, this is the reason why. This was the single most important thing driving that decision. The cruise line wasn't just thinking about the ship. They were thinking about the thousands of people who had to get home from the ship and get there safely. This gives you just a peek into the crazy logistics they're dealing with. It's like they're playing this massive game of 3D chess against the weather. They're watching road conditions near the port, they're monitoring flight schedules all over the country, and they're keeping an eye on potential airport closures. It's a huge puzzle, and the number one piece is always the safety of everyone on board. So we've covered packing, we've covered travel planning, we've even looked at it from the cruise line side. What does this all boil down to? Well, it all comes down to having the right mindset. Let's distill everything we've talked about into just a few simple rules. And here they are, the 3 golden rules. It's really this simple. Number 1, pack smart with layers for both hot and cold. 2, plan ahead and get to your port a day early. And number 3, and this is a big one, be flexible. Know that schedules can change and that it's always done for safety. You master these 3 things, and you've basically mastered winter cruising.
At the end of the day, this is the one truth we just can't argue with. We can plan, we can prepare, we can do everything right, but we can never actually control the weather. The real question isn't whether the weather will change, but how we adapt when it does. And the savvy cruiser knows the answer is always a smart plan and, most importantly, a flexible attitude.